Hey, what's up everybody, this is Miles from TV. Hopefully you guys saw my video where I did the unboxing of my Colt M16A1 parts kit. What I'd like to do now is show you the final product. Here it is. It's actually, what I built it into was a Colt XM16E1. And the difference between the XM16E1 and the Colt M16A1, this right here, this is a partial mag fence. So it's not full, it doesn't go all the way around the magazine release button and then down a little bit. It's just one straight line right here. Nodax Bud, which is the company that makes these reproduction of the retro AR-15 lower receivers, they only have this one in stock. And I also did a lot of research and I actually ended up liking the history behind the XM16E1 a little bit more, just because it's the predecessor to the M16A1. You hear about it all the time when in Vietnam they started issuing these M16s out that they're having a lot of issues with them, and that's because there was the myth going around that they didn't need to be cleaned at all. And that's quite the contrary, because since it's a direct impingement gas system, right here there's a gas tube that runs along in here, and it blows the bolt back, this thing right here, it blows it back using just purely gas, no piston or anything, just pushes it back. There's a lot of powder residue and carbon buildup that ends up on the bolt face and inside the chamber, and basically all in this area where if it doesn't get cleaned it can cause some malfunctions. Like I said, they weren't issued with cleaning kits, so the only problem with this rifle that doesn't make it correct to an XM16E1 is the fact that I did build this off an M16A1 parts kit, so I do have an M16A1 stock. And you can see the stock has a trap door right here, and the reason it has this trap door is because that's where the cleaning kit was contained. It has a little compartment in here. The original M16A1s and XM16E1s, just the early retro Colt M16s, had 1x12 twist rates for the barrels, and that was because they were shooting the M193, I believe it is, ball ammunition. It's 55 grain. It's a standard military cartridge, and since it was 55 grain, that's a lighter grain bullet. It's a lighter weight bullet. The barrel has to have a faster spin to be able to stabilize that lightweight bullet. And for heavier grain bullets like 62 grains and some of the even heavier grain bullets that they have now, they changed the twist rates, because on the modern M4s that you see, I'm pretty sure the twist rate's 1 in 7, I believe, and that's because the new ammunition they use is 62 grain. And so this barrel actually has a 1 in 9 twist, so it will shoot 55 grain, 62 grain pretty much perfectly. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain the rifle, basically everything about it from the stock to the muzzle. And I do have a round right here, and I'll explain why I have this out later. Here's the stock. It's the M16A1 stock. Like you saw before, it has the butt stock. I mean the trapdoor butt stock. And I'll show you how, at least I open it, or how I think it's supposed to be opened. You take the rim, which is this portion right here of the cartridge, and it has a little, not sure if you can see this, but there's a hook kinda in there. And what I do is I take the rim and I put it in that hook and I open it up. This spring is freaking tight as hell. I don't know why, but that's how I manage to open this thing every time. I just take a cartridge and I stick it in there. Here's the compartment. You probably won't be able to see because of the lighting too well, but it's pretty deep. It goes probably, it goes down to probably around here, and it starts off about this big, and then it tapers, and it comes close right there or something. That's the trapdoor, and that's what they integrated into the M16A1 versus the XM16E1, and that's where they put the cleaning kit. And also this stock, it's it's rigid. It's made out of plastic, I guess, but you'd be surprised. You could knock someone out with that. We got the forward assist, and what the forward assist does is, for some reason, if your bolt ever gets stuck back, if you push this button, it'll push it forward. And let's see if I can demonstrate how that could work. Let me take the rifle apart. Now it's not under spring tension from the buffer anymore. And so, let's see, let's get a good angle on this. If the bolt is out, and for some reason there's something obstructing it, and it can't go back into battery without the spring tension, you can give a couple pushes on the forward assist, and as you see, it moves it forward, and that is why the bolt has these serrations on it. It's because this forward assist has a little hook in there, and it catches on the serrations and pushes them forward. So, forward assist, charging handle. I mean, you guys probably figure what that is. The charging handle, or at least the bolt, has a last round hold open. So what happens when you fire your last round out of the gun, you'll see the bolt will stay locked back like this. See, the magazine's in there and there's no ammo. So that's why when I pulled it back, it got stuck back in this position. It's very useful because what you can do is you can shoot your last round off, you can drop your magazine, and then you can grab another magazine, pump it in there. There's this button on the back right here which releases your bolt forward. So you push that, and then bam. You're back in business. It'll chamber your next round and you can start shooting again. So instead of having to, you know, do the whole action, then it's just a little bit faster of a shortcut, I guess. Alright, so it has the A1 pistol grip, and the way you can tell the A1 pistol grip between the A2 pistol grip, I said this in my unboxing video for those who didn't see, this is smooth right here, all the way up and down. There's no humpty hump dump, little finger groove. That's the A2 style. They integrated that little hump. The difference between the XM16E1 and the difference between the M16A1 lower receivers is that this mag fence right here, you can see it's just a straight line. And I'll probably put a picture in of a M16A1 style. It has basically the same profile, but it goes down and then it goes around, and what it does is it protects the magazine release button. So in case, I guess, if your rifle's laying down, it can somehow get pushed, or I'm not really sure, but that's what they put on there. And moving on from there, we got our magazine release. And another reason why I had this bullet out is not just because of the stock, but also because in California we have a couple weird laws, and for these assault style weapons, military style weapons, box fed, semi-automatic, what we have to do is we have to have only a 10-round capacity, and that's actually kind of standard for pretty much all new production magazines after January 1st, 2000, I believe. And if you have a larger than 10-round magazine, you can use it if it's post January 2000. And don't quote me on that either. I'm pretty sure that's the date, but don't quote me on it. And you can't use it in a rifle if it doesn't have any evil features. Evil features are like a pistol grip, a flash suppressor. And so anyway, since I do have these evil features, I have to have a 10-round magazine, and I have to have this little thing, which is a bullet button. And how it works is take a bullet, which is considered a tool. What the whole purpose of this is that the law states that you have to have a tool to remove the magazine from the weapon. And I guess it's so you can't do rapid magazine changes or something like that. It's basically just a feel-good law that makes anti-gun people feel better. It doesn't make much sense, but they don't understand guns, so they make laws that just make them feel better. And so basically how it works is you take the tip of the bullet, stick it in the bullet button, push down, and bam, your magazine's released. And it's a 20-round magazine, a body, but it's internally blocked, so it can only hold 10 rounds. So it's just aesthetics. I like the look of the 20 round mag, so I got this one. It's called a 10/20 mag, and it goes in normal and everything, but I can't get this magazine out with my finger. I have to use a tool. Most states do not require this. I don't think any other state really requires it besides California. We are a little weird here with the guns, but that's because it's primarily liberals who live in California. But there's nothing wrong with that. Well, at least, yeah, there's something wrong with the gun laws, but I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with liberals. There's nothing wrong with either side, in my opinion. I'm pretty moderate, so I don't go out lashing liberals or conservatives. I think if you're extremely on one side or the other, then you might have some faults. The most level-headed people can pretty much make the best decisions, in my opinion. So, these are the A1 style grips, or I guess you could call them A1. Pretty much all rifles before A1 had this style, and it's the triangular style. It's nice big flat base on the bottom. It comes up to a taper. It fits in your hand real well. I like it. There's a top view of it, a side view. Also, there's heat shields inside there. If you can see, like, the aluminum shining, those are to keep from getting this plastic too hot and potentially melting it, I suppose. But yeah, it's just a normal front sight block, nothing special. And then this is an A1 Birdcage flash suppressor, and it has holes all the way around it, versus the A2, which has a closed bottom. Yeah, this is pretty much my rifle in a little nutshell, or a big nutshell, because that was kind of a long video, but hopefully you guys liked it. If you guys liked it, please let me know in the comments. If I was wrong on any of the information I gave and you know the right answer, feel free to correct me. This is all off the top of my head. I'm not reading anything, so I may have made a little mistake here or there, so don't hang me for it. But thanks guys, and hopefully you like my weapon. I have the A1 pistol grip. Oh fuck. I guess I'll have to edit this out.